Welcome to the webinar. Thank you for joining us. This is the NCEES webinar titled Homebase Professional Development System, a great resource for educators. My name is Heather Stewart, Professional Development Coordinator for the South area. Joining me today are Mandy Taylor, Professional Development Coordinator for the North area, and Delia Payne, assisting with questions and technical issues. On the screen, you will also see the contact information for Dr. Kim Simmons. She is the NCEES coordinator. If you have policy or procedure questions, please feel free to email her anytime. Sure that we are broadcasting. If you can hear my voice, please click on the hand icon to raise your hand. Thank you. Now raise your hand if you can see my screen. Also, thank you. Now please locate the questions bar and type a quick hello to let us know you have access to the questions bar. Great, thank you. The PowerPoint and webinar recording will be available on the NCEES Wiki at the conclusion of this webinar. There are no handouts at this time. We will also not be using the chat bar feature today. Here are some norms to guide our participation today. Please minimize outside distractions. Let us know if you have any questions or technical difficulties as we go through the webinar today. If you have any difficulties, please raise your hand or use the questions bar to ask any questions. Our webinar outcomes for today, we're going to review accessing the North Carolina Educator Evaluation System. We'll provide an overview of online learning, an overview of the professional development system, learn about the features of the professional development system, learn about the features of rt3nc.org, examine courses within the professional development system, and explore some resources. Let's review accessing the North Carolina Educator Evaluation System. Everyone accesses NCEES via the IAM or NCEED cloud. There are some icons shown on the screen. Not everyone will have the same icons as it depends on your role in the system, whether it be teacher, administrator, student, or NCDPI employee. The green circle icon is the North Carolina Educator Evaluation System. To access the North Carolina Educator Evaluation System and the professional development aligned to the evaluation process, click on the green circle. The landing page is being displayed on the screen. Along the top are tabs that link to various pages. The Professional Development tab is identified by the red arrow. Hopefully this review of accessing the system was helpful to you. Are there any questions at this time about logging in to the North Carolina Educator Evaluation System? If there are no questions, at this time I would like to introduce Dr. Mandy Taylor, who will begin sharing information about online learning in the Homebase Professional Development Platform.
Good afternoon and welcome. This is Mandy Taylor. I want to do just a quick overview of online learning. So this is a term that we're pretty familiar with, but we don't always stop and think about the why of online PD. But we do know pretty quickly when we think about it that it is very flexible. The delivery and the pacing of online professional development leads to anywhere learning at any time. Also, being able to address learning styles. As we'll see in just a moment, the courses in the PD system offer a variety of ways to learn that meet different styles, independent or collaborative, auditory or visual, using electronic means rather than just paper and pencil. Online PD also provides a means of collaboration and discussion and opportunities to model some of those best practices in online learning design and instruction. Opportunities like posting and discussion forums and ways of interacting that reinforce some of those skills of digital citizenship as well. Online learning is targeted to specific goals. It can be easily tied to PDPs connected to school or district improvement goals. It's also a way to bring in experts. The Universal Design for Learning course is an example of being able to bring in experts around a topic. And there's also an evaluation and monitoring component so that you can keep track of your learning and professional growth. But what about the PD system that is specific to NCEES for North Carolina educators? If you look quickly at the bold phrases, they very quickly give you an idea of how our system benefits North Carolina educators. For example, the modules are aligned to the North Carolina standards for teachers and for school executives. These modules were developed by experienced educators and instructional designers to be relevant and adaptable to diverse learning environments. So why don't we take a look at the system? So this section, we're going to take just a quick overview of the professional development system. As you'll notice across the top, Heather mentioned that this is organized by tabs, and so you would click on the Professional Development tab. Once you have clicked on the Professional Development tab, you see the system homepage. There are several large boxes, which we call channels, on the landing page. On the left-hand side, you see the Professional Development News, and then on the right-hand side, you see the course search, my surveys, and also my courses on the right side. And if you scroll down, you will see how robust the Professional Development News channel is. And also, I just want to highlight on the screen, you see the arrow is pointing to show all. All of your courses may not populate in that course listing, but you can still see them by just clicking show all. Also on that page is the channel for required trainings. You may be assigned a required course through your LEA or as a result of a classroom observation. And if that were the case, it would show up in that channel on your landing page. If you continue to scroll down on the landing page, on the left-hand side, you will see a recommended channel, a recommended trainings channel, which again, your LEA could recommend a training to you, or it could be recommended through the classroom observation process. And then directly underneath that is a way to search for courses to make sure that they are aligned to specific elements, either the school executive standards and elements or the teacher standards and elements. If you'll notice, this arrow was pointing to a small box. It has a plus sign on it, and then as you click on those plus signs, it will expand your choices. On the right-hand side, we see another container that is focused aligned courses. These are not related to the professional teaching standards, but are just broader topics that you may be interested in, and you may use that feature to search for courses as well. I want to just jump back to the left-hand side for just one moment, because if you follow these directions, search by standard, and you drill down to the element, you will finally see a button that says Available. And if you click on the Available button, you will see a specific listing of modules that are aligned to that element. And then you can learn a little bit more, the credits, or take a look at the module itself. So here are just a few fun facts about the PD system. 44 different self-paced modules are available. There are 21 self-paced mini modules, the difference being the amount of time that it would be required to complete the activities. There are 219 Governor's Teacher Network Action Researcher projects that are available for you to explore or perhaps even replicate if they meet the needs of your classroom. And these modules are available at no cost to North Carolina educators. And finally, just a quick glimpse of the enrollments in self-paced courses across the state. The lighter cream colored is 0, moving all the way to the darkest blue, which represents per 100 educators across the state. So just a quick overview of some hotspots for self-paced online learning activity. So what do these courses offer? Relevant topics, for one. The example here is the 21st Century Learner. We've mentioned the Universal Design for Learning, and also there's a data literacy course. There are also rich discussion forums. Here the discussions are on using data to drive professional development, and 6 and 7 participants have weighed in on one discussion. Also, there are interactive activities. Here is an example of participants that would be asked to make a concept map using Bubble Us or a similar tool. Sometimes there are interactive or self-correcting puzzles, drag and drop concept matching, or creating voice threads to describe a 21st century classroom. Reflective journaling is also a much used component using Penzu or another online journal tool, or even pencil and paper. There are also prompts that are offered to guide the reflection that are based on the course content. Videos are used sometimes to provide content or to present a virtual classroom observations through something like the teaching channel so that participants can analyze and respond to instructional techniques. So now we will go back to Heather for some technical nuts and bolts pieces.
All right, thank you, Mandy. So let's go deeper into how to search for and register for professional development. The professional development landing page has many channels, just like Mandy shared with you. The professional development news channel shows courses that are open for registration, and there are channels for finding courses and to view the courses you are already taking. There are a few ways to search for courses. There is a course search channel. There is a channel for trainings that have been assigned to you and deemed required. This means an administrator in the system has assigned a course to you. You'd receive an email that let you know you are enrolled in a course, and probably the administrator in your building or district would also communicate to you the conditions for completion. There is a channel for recommended training. Courses will appear as administrators in the system assign courses to you individually or as an assigned group. For example, a course can be assigned to you as a beginning teacher if that is how you are identified in NCEES. And as Mandy shared, there's also a container or channel called Focus Area Aligned Courses. In this channel, you can search for courses aligned to a particular focus area. On the screen, you just see a few courses. But if you click on See All, there is a long list of areas such as data literacy, English language learners, English language arts, guidance and counseling, mathematics, STEM, and world languages. If you choose to just use the course search container, you can search by keywords, a title if you know it, or a course number if you have it. You can also click on Advanced Search and Show All. When you click on Show All, courses appear in alphabetical order. On the left of the list of courses is a navigation box that can let you further narrow your search by PD type. You can refine the search by face-to-face registration, self-paced courses, instructor-led courses, instructor-led MOOCs, and blended opportunities. MOOCs are large courses with usually over like 100 participants. On the right, you can sort by title, views, and ratings. In the example shown on the screen, I chose to search by self-paced online modules. To view the content, click on the title. Some self-paced courses direct the user to a Moodle, while others can open in public wiki spaces or to downloadable content like a document or a PowerPoint. In the example shown here, 21st Century Mentoring is a self-paced course that opens in a Moodle. To go back to view more opportunities, click on the Return to Portal link at the bottom of the page. In the next example, I have entered instructor-led online courses as my parameters. To register, look to the right of the topic and click Register. Just a note, currently NCDPI is not offering instructor-led courses this semester. Please check back next semester. To review accessing course content, hyperlinks are in blue. To view the course, click on the title hyperlink. The views shows how many people have viewed the course in the past. And Read More allows participants to read the full description and specifics of the course. As with any self-paced course, you do not have to complete the content in one instance. You can go back time and time again. When you click on the course from your My Courses channel, click on View Again to get back into the course. To complete courses for credit, users need to view all pages. There are boxes for check marks next to all the pages and activities that should be completed in a course. To determine if you have completed a course, ensure all check marks are visible in the boxes and complete any surveys attached to the course. Allow about 24 to 48 hours for your transcript to become available in the system when you have completed the course. All right, let's take a minute to see now if there are any questions in the questions bar about finding and registering for courses. All right, at any time, you can ask any questions that you have during the process, and we'll answer them as best as we can. Thank you. If there are no questions, let's move on to working with the transcript. When I have completed a course, I can view my transcript from the My Courses container. In the My Courses container at the bottom is the link to the transcript. This screen shows the courses a participant may have taken. The screen shows the section number, the title of the course, any survey required, the start and end dates, the completion date, the certificate number, and credit hours earned. Participants can email the entire transcript and get PDF versions of individual certificates. Anything blue is a hyperlink. I see there's a question about finding courses. All right. So we're going to look that up for you. Someone has gotten a course number and can't find it by searching by the number. So let's see if we can help you with that. In the meantime, I'm going to move forward and Mandy's going to see if she can find a helpful answer for you. Are there any questions about the transcript? All right. Withdrawing from a course. There may be a time when you register for a course and you decide it's just not for you. You can withdraw from the course so it no longer shows up in the My Courses channel. Click on the Learning Opportunity link. On the Learning Opportunities page is a list of all your courses that are available for viewing. There is a preference icon and a drop-down arrow to the left of every course title. Click on the arrow and click on the word Withdraw. A confirmation screen will pop up. Confirm you want to withdraw, and that is all you need to do. We have reviewed searching for courses, registering for courses, managing the transcript, and withdrawing for courses. Let's take a minute now to see if there are any questions in the questions bar. But we're still trying to find that answer to searching by course number. Okay, let's move on to working with the course catalog. Mandy?
Inside the professional development system in the PD news channel, you may have seen a link to rt3nc.org. When you click on this link, it takes you to a companion website which lists not only our courses but some extra material as well. When you arrive at rt3nc.org, you will see this landing page. It is also arranged by tabs, if you will notice, across the top of the screen. There is no special login that is needed to access this resource, and you would still register for courses through the Homebase system. And as a matter of fact, that first chunk of information in the upper left-hand side is exactly that, how to enroll in the courses. So this first tab is what we just looked at, but notice too that there's also a video. So if you aren't quite sure or just want some screenshots and a step-by-step process, you can also use this video to learn how to enroll in courses. So if you look for courses at this website, you can use the tabs to look for the self-paced modules, and the mini modules will come up, and you can also search by standard, and there are just a few directions for searching by standard, very similar to what you would do inside the PD system itself. And again, they're aligned down to the element level. So once you click on the standard and then the element, the list of courses shows up, and you simply click on the title for more information. For ideas about maximizing the effectiveness of online learning, look under the Implementation tab. There is a guide here that goes into exactly what is online learning, but it's this second bullet. There are models and strategies for implementation by individuals, PLCs, and LEAs. So on the right-hand side of the screen is a screenshot of what the implementation guide contains, and you can see rather quickly that there are 6 different models for implementation that it explains in depth. The last tab at rt3nc.org is around action research. The work here takes you to the North Carolina Teacher Action Research Portal, or the TARP, which houses all 219 pieces of action research that teachers from across North Carolina engaged in for an entire year. It is a searchable database. You can search by subjects, by keywords, by grades, to really drill down to work that fits your area. So we want to finish up our time together today by actually going into the system and just taking a quick look at some courses we wanted to highlight.
Just give me 1 minute.
And so this will be a great time. Or does anyone have any questions? And Jacqueline, thank you very much for that additional information. We will use that to continue getting an answer for you. Anybody else have any questions? Also, at the landing page for rt3nc.org is a list of the modules. It's in a printable flyer that you can use if you need to advertise or spread the word about resources that are available. So this course, Introduction to Data Literacy, self-paced, that's a word that we use a lot in our work, data literacy. What does it mean to be data literate? So if that is something that is of interest to you, this is a great place to begin. This course outlines the different types of data and when you would use those different types of data, how to analyze quantitative and qualitative data, and actually provides for some structured practice, not only in data analysis, but in data reporting as well. So this is just a nice place to start to get a deeper understanding of what it means to be data literate. It takes about 4 hours to complete. And as you go down the page, you can see the different activities that are involved in this work.
Great, thanks, Mandy. We're also going to look at connecting with our 21st century educators. This is a great one because it is 2017 and we have a different class of students, as we all know, and these are iPad users and they have Instagram and Snapchat, and they don't even use Facebook anymore. And so we want to think about how do we change our instruction to meet the needs of all of our learners, considering where we are today with digital technology. And so connecting with our 21st century learners is a fantastic course. As you can see, there's most courses are designed the same way. It tells you a little bit about Moodle. That gives you an overview, an introduction. There's content. Usually a piece where you put your skills into practice and try out some activities. And then closure, to think about how you're going to take this information back and put it into practice in your classroom and share with others. What I really like about this particular course are all of the tools that are in the pages. When I click the page for understanding 21st century skills, the first thing I'm going to click on is making connections. And here, there's some great information about future-ready students and a list of their attributes and how we came up with our board policies around what we want for our learners for graduating and being globally competitive. There's videos. graphics, and activities and resources like Bubble Us. And in the subsequent pages, there are more digital tools and resources available for educators. In this particular page, there's a quiz. And on the next one, I think there's even a voice tool to use, a voice thread, where you can create your own. So some great tools are hidden within the content of this particular course. The other course we want to look at is Universal Design for Learning. Now, if you're not familiar with UDL, Universal Design for Learning is really about the first teach. It's about designing instruction in a way that meets the needs of all students. So it's that first teach, and that's what Universal is about. And it's really helping educators learn about planning for that first teach and what principles should be a part of that lesson design. And so in this course, as usual, there's information about Moodle, an overview, content, and then putting it into practice. In this course, what I really like are the classroom scenarios. There are scenarios here where you identify different practices that are being used that align to good first teaching, that align to the principles of Universal Design for Learning, and think about what that looks like in a classroom and how you can improve upon it. And I think these scenarios are really great because they're much like what we might see in our own classroom, and it feels very authentic. So those are just a couple things we wanted to share about those particular classrooms that are more specific to the content in that class. Mandy?
So the other course that I wanted to take a brief look at was the EVOS Basics course. One, just to bring awareness that this is a course that we have, a self-paced mini module. It is not designed to be anything more than just an overview, but again, it is a great starting place to investigate the EVOS Basics. It should take about 2 hours to complete. So as you work through this, the key concepts, if we can just look just for a minute, the conversation about growth versus proficiency, the differences between predictions and projections and how those are determined, what is meant by an average year's worth of growth, the use of the normal curve equivalence and the standard error, and then there are also some time spent looking at the teacher estimate and the teacher index. So again, just really this was just more to raise awareness and just let you know that this resource is out there and what exactly this module covers, as we know that data is starting to filter out. So this is a great place, again, to just start that understanding or to get a refresher as well.
All right. We'll get us back on track. But at this point, we have shared a lot of information about registering for courses and what courses are available in the system. Are there any questions at this time? When you begin working in the professional development system, there are help guides available. There are help guides available for the entire North Carolina Educator Evaluation System, but also there are help guides available about the professional development portion of the system. And so those are there available for you. I want to remind you that there is a NCEES wiki space. This is an open wiki. Information is available to all. Membership is not required. If you're prompted to join, just simply dismiss that pop-up. You may access this webinar and other materials related to the North Carolina Educator Evaluation System and professional development by visiting our NCEES wiki, which is the URL is at the top of the page. You can also access the recording and the PowerPoint from today's webinar by visiting the webinar archives, which can be found on the left side navigation. Go ahead and bookmark the wiki and visit the site frequently to get all the latest updates. Today we reviewed accessing the North Carolina Educator Evaluation System. We gave an overview of online learning and an overview of the professional development system, learned a little bit about the features of the professional development system and the features of rt3nc.org, which is just another option for course catalog. We examined some courses within the professional development system and explored some resources that are available. What to expect next? You will receive an email with details about the webinar, including title, date, description, and participation time. Some educators bundle these messages and submit them to their district office. It is under the district's authority whether or not to approve items for renewal credit. Some districts may require prior approval in order for CEU credit to be awarded. We would love some feedback. Please complete this feedback form about today's webinar. We rely on your feedback to fine-tune our webinars. And one goal of our webinars is to provide relevant information in an effective and efficient manner. For technical concerns, there is a Homebase support center. Directions are on the screen for completing a help desk ticket. If you are a teacher or an administrator, you should contact your PowerSchool administrator before creating a remedy ticket. Thank you again for joining us today. This is the conclusion of our webinar. We will remain online for a few minutes to answer any questions you may have.